In the first video, I went over everything that the site has for us, being all of these cards, the signature arts, um, and what else did I do? Oh, the starter deck. So I did the starter decks and then everything on here. So what I'm going to do now is that we've seen all these cards. There are a couple different sites that you can use if you want to see sets before they come out. There are a couple that I use. The one that seems to be the best one for translations is going to be like this capsule core, because they like give you the translations when you click on them, and now the translations aren't absolutely perfect, but I do think they are manageable. So we're gonna use this, and even if they're not absolutely perfect, we're really not trying to have everything be perfect. We just want to kind of get a sense of what all these decks are gonna do, right? Um, but I'll go through like a couple of cards, maybe like 4 at a batch, or like maybe a set. Like if I go through all these Astas, then I'll like look in the chat to see like what you guys think about it. But let's see what. All right, if I build a deck, got to be the girls. Plays like Tornado Sisters. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm the same one. I'm gonna build the girls for sure, because that deck, it's a red deck too, and she's gonna be really really strong. So when we get to, I've already looked through all these things, but I wanted to go through it with everyone else, and then also have a video of me doing it. All right. So there's no way for me to put this in the rarities or anything like that. This is just the list they have. So I think that the BCV is just meaning like Black Clover 1, and then we'll go straight through the card numbers through. So first one we got up is Megikula, which is a devil trait. On play, choose up to one character on your opponent's front line, and it gets minus 1000 BP until the start of your turn. That's not bad for a 2-drop, well, 1 energy or 1 action point, 2000 BP. It doesn't have a trigger, but not a bad effect. Going into the first Asta card, this is our 0-drop for purple. I do think that Asta is in every color for this set. I could be wrong, but we're going through it together, right? So Asta, it is a Black Bull trait, and it's just a get trigger, 1500 BP. We've seen those cards like that nonstop. We do have a 2 energy, 1 action point, 3000 plus BP, 1 energy generator, and it is an active trigger in life, which is really good. That's not bad. Looks like it's going to be another purple deck with hopefully a lot of triggers in it. And he says, opponent's turn, if there are 4 or more other Black Bull cards in your area, this character gets 500 BP. It not being during your turn is probably how it's a little balanced, but still having a 2-drop 4K is kind of OP. That's really strong. Now you have to have 4 or more other in your areas. Now we don't know if this specifically says like it should just be on the field, right? Because there's no way you can get 4 or more others on your front line. But this looks to be a really strong card. 2-drop 4K is kind of wild. Coming up on our first raid Asta trait Black Bull, it is the generic 4 energy, 1 action point, 4000 BP, and 1 energy generator. Obviously, it is a raid trigger in life. It raids on top of Asta, and it says if there are 4 or more other Black Bull cards in your area, this character gains impact 1. Characters that battle with this character lose impact negate during this battle, which is really, really good. So this is good to see, to like, seeing the progression of the game and some of the sets and like the card design. So like giving a character like this impact, right? We've seen something like that before, but now this character saying like if it battles something, it loses negate impact, which is really good because now you have some way to make sure you get the impact and you don't always like, have to let your opponent impact negate you, which is really, really good. And then on retire, so when you kill this, you may place 1 red Black Bull card from your outside hand, card from your hand to the outside area. If you did, you may play up to 1 character card from this card's raid source to your frontline rest. Dang, that's pretty good. Not bad. So he just replaced himself with another body. So it looks like you're going to always have bodies. If they do, clear this Asta, you can trash 1 Black Bull from your hand to play the Asta underneath it out. That seems pretty good, even not knowing any other synergies with the deck. This is a pretty dope card. That is the Astas. Overall, I feel pretty decent about those. Like, this seems like a nice Asta package, not doing anything crazy. We went over this art before. We've seen that on the other one, really cool. But looks like a cool, get value while you have other Black Bulls, right? Which is really neat. All right, we do have gray, just a Black Bull 1/1, 2500 BP. It is your active trigger, and it is 2500 BP to play early, so not bad. It is just a black pool, so I think that's going to be what's important here. Ooh, nice. We get our buddy Gosh Adelaide. Gosh Adelaide. I forget how they say exactly how to say this name, but this is the guy with the sister, right, that he loves a lot. Kind of creepy, but really cool. He's a 3/1. 3000 BP, and he does give you double energy generator, which is really, really good, right? But him, you're not probably going to want to play him on your front line since he is your double energy generator. But you've seen that the Asta only costs 4, so if we see any other cards that cost a lot, he may be really, really important on your back line. He is your color trigger in purple, which just lets you play a 2 cost from your sideline for free. And then on play, choose up to 1 Black Bull character on your area. Choose a character card with the same name as the chosen character, with required energy of 2 or less, and 1 AP cost from your outside area, and play it to your area rested. At the end of your attack phase, retire that character. Very interesting. So you get to play one that has the same name but less energy, and then at the end of the attack phase, you have to retire that character. That is pretty unique. We're not really seeing a lot of stuff like that. Pretty cool though. I wonder if like you just do that and then raid on top of that card, and since that card is gone, now you don't have to pay this. This seems like it could be pretty busted. That seems really, really good as long as you're able to raid on top of the card. Because like we just saw here, you could use his effect when you play him to play this Asta back on your back line, and then raid on top of the Asta. And since it's a new card now, his effect wouldn't make it go to the sideline. That's actually pretty dope. I like the Gosh big time. All right, going to more Black Bulls here. We got Gordon. He's really cool. 3 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP, another double energy generator. And this is just that generic, reduce it by 1 if your opponent has a green or red. We've seen these cards before, so nothing new there. Zara. Everyone loves Zara. This is a cool guy. 3 energy, 1 action, and 3500 BP. So really, really strong. It is a Black Bull, but no trigger. If on the front line, once per turn, when your opponent activate main, and there is another Black Bull on your area, draw a card. Ooh, that's pretty good. So free draw from your opponent, just doing their own things. Now, it does have to be an activate main, but that's pretty good. It's like a trap, right? Because he does the trap kind of magic in the show. We do have old Charmy, 500 BP, 0 energy, 1 action point. It is a draw trigger, and then on play, choose it to 1 other character on your area, and it gets 1000 BP. Really good, just a good booster for the deck. So we have seen 2 of these 0 drops, and this is going to be our third one. It is going to be Nero, the cool little bird. It is no trigger, 1000 BP, our 0 energy, 1 action point. Activate main. Rest this character once per turn. This character gets another energy generated. At the end of your main phase, retire this character. We've seen these characters as well. Probably just a great way to fix the energy in the deck. Thoughts on all these? These are just good supplement packages, I think, so far that we've seen. These are definitely the highlights so far, the Gosh and the Astas. Going down to more purple Black Bull cards, we do have our first Noelle. Surprised she's not one of the 0 drops at the moment. I would assume she probably won't be now that we've seen her at a 2. But this is going to be the searcher for the day. 2 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP. On play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Black Bull card among them, add it to your hand. Place the remaining bottom deck. If you add it to the hand, place 1 card from your hand to outside area. We've seen these searches before. Nothing new here, but love to see her coming out. A 3000 stat line actually is pretty good for this too, though. No trigger, unfortunately, but we're used to this kind of searcher being, 25, so her being 3 is good power creep for the game. This art is really pretty too. It's where she's like struggling to channel her wizardry, right? We have Vanessa, everyone's favorite drinking wizard lady. She's really, really cool. 3 energy, 2 action points, no trigger once again. So not giving this deck a lot of triggers in a purple deck. So maybe they were just realizing when they did that with Kogios that they maybe made a mistake doing so, right? All right. But 3 energy, 2 action point, 3000 BP. So they're all pretty strong. Maybe that's where they're going with this. They're making their BPs a little stronger. We've seen in other archetypes, but not giving them the trigger. On play, play up to one Black Bull purple character with required energy of 2 or less and 1 AP cost from your outside area to your area, rested or rated. If there are 6 or more other Black Bull cards in your area, you can make it a 4 cost. So this is kind of taking from the we've seen a couple cards like this. Her only being 3 energy for this is kind of wild. That's really, really good. You know, I'm a Kurapika player, and Neon cost me 5 energy, which is the downfall of her. This one only costing 3 is really, really good, because you play her and you get anyone back from your sideline that you need. And if you have a lot of people already, so it's a get back in the game kind of card and a, you know, push your state of the game. I absolutely love this card. It's really, really good for sure. We have Finroll, it just 1/1/15, and he generates double energy. On play, choose one of the character in your area would require energy 1 or less, and return it to your hand. If you do not, return this character. So this is just the cheat double energy characters where you have to bounce one back. Feel really cool about these. I do not like that they don't have triggers, but these cards are really, really strong. So like I said, I think they learned from Code Geass not making these decks have so many triggers. Going to our other 0 drop is Magna Schwing. No trigger once again. Our 0/1 on play. If there's another Black Bull card in your area, draw 1 and trash 1 card. So this is going. You're gonna have to play him at a 4 of probably because you're gonna want to fuel your sideline for your Vanessas and your Gaushes, all these cool effects that you got going on. And finally, we're getting to the big man himself, oh Yami. He is 4 energy, 2 action point. He is 4,000 plus BP, so we know we're getting a boost somewhere on the card. He is an active trigger. Very interesting that he's not a get trigger, considering he is one of your, you know, probably key cards that you want to go to in the deck. But let's get into it. On play, if there are 6 or more other Black Bull cards in your area, choose up to one character on your opponent's front line with 4,000 BP or less and retire it. So another kill spell for the deck. Really, really good. And then he says, when attacking, choose up to one Black Bull character on your area, and it gets 1,000 BP during this turn, an extra 1,000 BP. So he essentially can be a 5K. Maybe that's why they didn't want him to come out active, but he is also a kill spell. He should still come out active because this on play says that you have to have 6 or more to pop a 4K or less. It's not like for every 2, add maybe 1,000 or something like that. So it's not like you could play him early in the game and still kill like a little body. But you can tell based off the card that this is exactly what that says. It's just 4. We can maybe hope that this translation is a little wrong, right? But I doubt it. But it does seem to be a really good card. Like, you're going to probably have to run 2 or 3 of this card in your deck. All right. Going on with the Black Bulls, we do have a Luck, who is really speedy, goes straight into combat guy. He is a 4/1, 3,000 plus BP, and 1 energy generator. He says during your turn, he gains 1,000. Wow, that's pretty good. Just a generic 4,000 BP during your turn. That's not bad at all. And then on play, if you have 6 or more other Black Bull cards in your area, set this character to active. Now, this is good. Now I see why the Yami doesn't come in active, because you have a 4K come in active Luck, which is really, really good. Looking to be a really good kind of get value from your sideline, play a lot of bodies on board, kind of swarm your opponent. Kind of aspect is what I'm getting out of this. Decent ways to keep your energy at 4 with just 2 on your back line. It looks to be a really cool archetype for sure. But I think the triggers are what's going to hurt it. It doesn't have a ton of triggers, and in today's game, you really need to have 40 plus triggers is what most people go by. That is the archetype for the Black Bulls so far that we see for purple. I think that it looks to be a pretty decent deck. Nothing crazy that's going to break the game, I don't think, but I do think it will be decently strong. All right, that's for the Black Bulls. Going into the next archetype, we are going to have the Dark Triad from the show recently, the bad guy group. And we do have Vanica. She is just a 0/1, 2000 BP, but no trigger. And she says, on retire, draw one and place one into your outside area. Not bad. We do have a 2/1, 2500 BP Vonica, who is just, if this character is active, gets another energy generation. No trigger as well. We do have a color trigger, so Vonica is going to be the other purple color trigger, and it's for the Dark Triad. She's a 3 energy, 2 action point, 3500 BP, and she generates you 1 energy. On play, draw 2 cards and place 1 card from your outside area. That is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So I do know that this deck has a win condition based off of cards in your sideline, so let's get to that soon. On retire, play up to 1 trait Dark Triad or trait Devil. Purple character card with energy required of 2 or less at 1 AP cost of 1 from your hand to your area rested. That's not bad. So you play her for 2. She replaces herself by drawing 2 sideline and 1, and you fill your sideline. It is a 3500 BP, so you can play her out to the front line and be a blocker, and it's essentially like she is replacing herself, because when they get rid of her, you can play a 2 or less energy AP rested to your field, so not bad at all. We have Xenon from the Dark Triad. It is just a impact negate, 0/1, 2000 BP, 1 energy generator. We have another Xenon, which is going to be a 1/1, 1000 BP, 1 energy generator. It is an active trigger, and he says, on retire, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Dark Triad or Devil card and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. So a searcher for the deck, which is not bad at all, but it is on retire, right? So you're going to probably want to have to get this guy sidelined, but he is going to be a free blocker, right? For anyone joining the stream, we have already went over the Black Bull characters. We are into the Dark Triad characters now. Going on to the third Xenon. This is the 3 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP. He does generate you 2 energy, and it's a draw trigger. Really good that in this deck, the triggers are not gets or anything like that, because you do want these cards to be in the sideline for your payoffs, right? On play, you may retire 1 other character on your area if you did draw 2 cards. Now, that's not bad at all, because if you really wanted to, say you played out the Venica on a previous turn and she's still there and you wanted some value, you could pop her to draw 2 cards, and then she will replace herself with another body. So not bad at all. And then getting to the big drop for the Xenon, it is going to be a raid Xenon here. It is a 4/1, 4000 BP, 1 energy generator. It raids on Xenon, and it has impact negate, which is really, really good. But we saw earlier that the Asta doesn't care if you have impact negate, because he says that when he swings, cancel this person's impact negate. So you can see how they're kind of like, unionarena does a really good job with the cards, keeping them pretty thematic in the story, right? And Asta negating magic and stuff makes sense how he does that. But he is raid. Activate main once per turn. Place 4 cards from your outside area to the removal. If you did, this character gains. This character cannot be blocked by characters with 3000 or less BP during this turn. Which is not bad. It means that if your opponent wants to block it, they're going to have to trade with one of their big bodies. So it is like a pseudo removal. If they don't want to lose the body, right? They're going to take the life, or they can't block at all. So you can set yourself up in certain instances where you're swinging, and then his swing will matter a lot because your opponent will have to have a big body to block him. And he just says, when attacking, draw a card. Wow. That's pretty good. Really, really good. When this character attacks and is blocked, place 1 card from your hand to the outside areas. So it's like you're drawing 1 if they block it. You get to fuel your sideline, which is what you want to do anyways, right? Finishing on the Dark Triad, we do have Dante. It's a 0/1, 1500 BP, and a get trigger. We have a 2 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP Dante, 1 energy generator. It's an active trigger, and it is on play. Look at the top card of your deck. Place that card at the top of your deck or into your sideline, which is really, really good, right? You can use it to fuel your sideline to get your plays. And then we do have the big Dante here, 4 energy, 1 action point, 4000 BP. And he says it is a draw trigger in life, which is good. So he goes to the sideline. And he just says activate main once per turn. Place 4 cards from your outside area to the removal. If you did, choose one of the following. This character gains damage 2 during this turn. this character gains damage 2 and or block 2 and impact negate. Wow, this is a really good card. This is very, very versatile. Really good card. So either choosing to push the pace of the game, or you can, use it to keep you alive. This is a really good card. I like versatile cards like this, for sure. Finishing off the Dark Triad is going to be the Big Dante Raid. This is the culmination Dante from the show, the Big Bad. 5 energy, 1 action point. So showing why you need the double energy generators in your deck, so that way you can get into this guy. He is 4,000 BP, 1 energy generation. Doesn't say boost on here, right? So a little unfortunate to play a 5 drop for only 4, but let's see what he does. He raids in life, raids on top of Dante, and then on play, choose up to 2 characters on your opponent's front line, and it gets minus 1,000 BP until the start of your next turn. Oh, that's pretty good. So this is a blanket -1/-1, and it follows through during your opponent's next turn. So this kind of helps him essentially be a 5k body, right? Because you're going to minus their 4k's 1. So this is pretty versatile. I can see now why he doesn't have a boost, because he's going to minus 2 separate bodies. And the way that you get to spread that out is up to you, and can be very, very versatile, very flexible. And then when attacking, place 2 cards from the top of your deck to the outside area. This is really good for helping them mill their deck. All right, now going into their option card is going to be the Quillfault Tree. It is a get trigger, and it generates you 2 energy on the board. That's pretty good for a site. Description: at the end of your attack phase, if you have 0 cards in your deck and 3 Dark Triad cards with different names in your area, you win the game. So this is a new game-winning mechanic for this game, and it is really interesting to see. If you could ever get this off in a game, that's pretty dope, right? That'd be really, really cool. I like to see that we have an optional win condition in the game. And probably isn't that hard to do. By the time, if you're drawing and trashing, there are a lot of green decks that are, decks that are trying to get, into like the turn 7 and 8 of the game to win. And if you could get there before them and put all your stuff in the sideline, you have this on the board with the 3 characters, you can steal the game from them. And then it says activate main, place 4 cards from your outside area to the removal. If you did draw 1 card and place 1 card from your hand to the outside area, you can only activate this Tree of Quillfault effect once per turn. Really, really good card. So it's just like helping you cycle, draw 1, trash 1. Definitely the main card that you want to see. Definitely the best card in the deck, I think, here. Being your win condition and a way to keep double energy and give you free cycle. Alright, we do have a couple other purple spells, but since we are on the Dark Triad, let's stay on theirs. This is just their final trigger. It is Dark Triad, get the 2 action points back. And then we have their kill spell, which is Demon King's Palace. It's special in life, and it says choose 1 character on your opponent's front line. It gets minus 3,000 BP until the start of your next turn. So till the start of your next turn is so good. If there is a Dante Zokratis, choose one of the following effects. It's minus 4,000 PP instead, or draw a card. So if you do the minus 3, you can also choose to draw a card. But if you pick to do the minus 4, it becomes that instead. So very specific on this wording here. You can either minus 3,000 if you have a Dante, draw a card, or turn the minus 3,000 to a minus 4 if you have Dante instead. This is a really, really good card. Really good card. Touching on the Black Bulls, we just have the Go Beyond Your Limits. This is just the final trigger for the Black Bulls. We do have Black Bull. This is the special trigger for the Black Bull deck. Choose 1 character in opponent's front line. It gets minus 1,000 BP for each Black Bull card on your area during this turn. That is pretty good because you're going to have multiples of these on your field. No problem at all. So it's always going to get something. Now, to get important bodies, you're going to have at least 4, but in that case, you should almost always have that, because if you have 2 on your energy line, that both generate 2, and then 2 on your front line, now you get a 4K, so not a bad kill spell. And then let's touch on the last card for purple in the set. It is going to be Black Bull Hideout. It's a get trigger, 2 energy, 1 action point, site. On play, if all characters in your area are Black Bulls, choose one of the following effects. You may draw a card, or you may place one Black Bull card from your hand to the outside area. If you do, draw 2. That's pretty good. So another fueling the graveyard kind of effect here. This is really versatile. I really like both of these decks for sure. Both dealing with the sideline a little bit. Both having some kind of payoff from the sideline. It does look like the, Triad deck is looking to be a little bit more of a, like late game, a potential win the game card with the the Quillfault tree, and then the Black Bulls maybe like or earlier kind of rush, get value from your sideline deck and swarm the board a little bit. Both of these decks look to be really, really fun from the set, and I cannot wait for them to come out. That is purple from the set.